Hey everybody, Real Estate Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. This is not the Economic Ninja channel. It's a second channel. If you haven't seen it, please hit the subscribe button. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the banks failing. We're going to talk about Elon Musk and his plans to pretty much change the entire way you think of banking and take over banking totally. I want you to understand that Elon Musk totally understands that there is a massive crisis happening right now in the banking sector, and he plans on fulfilling it. Musk has wanted to have a company called X and a banking system, I think, ever since he was a teenager. We're going to talk about that. Before I start this, I believe that everybody, this is not financial. This is not financial advice. I believe, in my opinion, if everybody had a little bit of actual silver or a little bit of actual gold and held it like a treasury, I think you'd start to think like a wealthy person and you'd change your life. The question is, type 1 if you think that Elon Musk owns physical silver and physical gold. Type 2 if you don't think he does. I think this is going to get to him, and I think he's going to answer that question for us. All right, so let's put down the silver. Let's talk about the first story. I've got two stories. The first one's about the Fed admits the banks have just suffered massive deposit outflows last week. This has been the story of the last year. Massive banking crisis. That is the truth. If you don't understand it, you're living under a bush. We just experienced a massive banking crisis this spring, and we're going to see a massive crash in the 2024. So I don't know what to tell you. If you think this is fear-mongering, go and watch videos of cats, especially the ones with the lasers and the ones with the bows. It's super cute. Actually, I'm a dog person. Type 3 if you're a cat person. Type 4 if you're a dog person, and stand by it. Then the next story is going to be the one about Elon Musk. Here we go, out of Zero Hedge. The first story, Fed admits banks suffered massive deposit outflows last week. It says here, with the usage of the Fed's emergency funding facility rising once again to a new record high last week. Let me stop there and remind you that in 2008, after all the bank crisis happened, stock market plunging and people getting foreclosed on their homes, even after all that had been happening, that happened in 2008, right? The Fed funds, the emergency window, the repo window, the repurchase window didn't even open till January of 2009. Well, guess what? If you don't think there's a crash, the Fed repo window has been open for quite some time and flushing banks that are failing with liquidity right now, because over 700 banks are failing. And they've been failing since not this last September, the September before that. That's how crashes happen. They actually don't tell you, the people, the truth, because they're afraid you're going to have a run on the banks. And the FDIC leaked video that came out, this last spring, that was recorded last November. They actually said that too. We can't let them know the banks are crashing because they will take all their money and run. Well, that's what this story is about. Everyone last week is taking their money and running. The bond market's collapsing, and Elon Musk knows, I'm going to take so much advantage of this. If you're not positioning yourself right now for the greatest wealth transfer in history, but it can only get transferred if you're willing to have it transferred. Like, you actually have to do something. That's the other thing that most human beings don't know. You can't just sit there and buy a lotto ticket and expect, a bunch of money to land in your lap and start to wiggle. You're going to actually have to do something. You're going to have to actually work. Becoming wealthy is hard work. It says here, and the bank stocks were just clubbed like a baby seal. All eyes. Can you just imagine that? All eyes, once again, on just what the Fed can do to seasonally adjust the data to avoid admission of any deposit run fears in domestic banks. Isn't that exciting? You remember when, what was it, a couple years ago, when all this crap was going bad with the economy, and they're like, oh, it's because of hurricane season. It's really bad because of hurricane season. And then they're like, okay, hurricane season's over. It's still bad. I know it's still bad. It's snow season. And then it's like, they go into spring. It's still bad. Oh, it's because the sun is too hot. We have global warming. It's global warming season, guys. Don't you know that? What season is today? So they're cooking the books. It's cool. It's just like being in the Biden White House right now, except for they're cooking meth probably. It says here, the data to avoid the admission of any deposit run fears in domestic banks. It says total bank deposits on a seasonally adjusted basis. I feel like Dr. Evil. It's on a seasonally adjusted basis. Crashed by a massive 83.7 billion last week. How's that fear-mongering for you? Don't worry, it was only 83.7 billion. If it was 83.8 billion, we'd be worried, but it was only 0.7. Just everybody go back in their house and watch Netflix and chill. Just don't worry about it. Everything's going to be okay. Don't buy any silver or gold, please. We're too busy doing it ourselves. All right, that's Just a little backstory. This was the largest outflows since the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Hey, I wonder if Jim Cramer was out last week on CNBC saying, hey, guys, I think it's a great time to keep your money in the banks. It's a great time. Just keep them in the banks. And this was the lowest since June. Non-seasonally adjusted, though, the deposit outflows were even huger. 129 billion. It is really starting to set in for the decoupling between massive money market fund inflows and a relatively flat deposit base for the last few months. Hey, real quick, just a side note, this isn't the Economic Ninja channel. This is my brother's channel, the Real Estate Ninja. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. It'll make him feel good, so good. He's been a little down and out because his hair's not looking so great. So if you could do that real quick. Now it says here, adjusting for foreign bank deposit flows, domestic bank outflows were still, wait a minute, still a massive withdrawal of 72 billion seasonally adjusted. Well, that's not good. And 117 billion non-seasonally adjusted. This is a 1 month. Okay, don't worry about it. Elon Musk is just being silly. He's not going to take over the banking system. Total deposit delta since the Silicon Valley Bank crisis are at 280 billion seasonally adjusted and 226 billion seasonally adjusted. That's bad. Everyone's taking their money out of the bank. I don't know where they're going with it. I hope they're buying a little bit of silver. That's not financial advice. I'm a dork. I'm just a dude with a brohawk and a dream that couldn't even hold on to his real estate license because I didn't like lying to people. It says here, I'm going to get some hate from some real estate agents. There's some that go, I get it. On the other side of the ledger, large banks saw loan volume shrink by 3.4 billion, while small banks allegedly saw loan volumes rise by 3.3 billion. That doesn't make any sense. It says, as the green line shows, and I'm going to show you a great chart, without the Fed's help, the crisis is back and large banks need a home like picking up a small bank from the FDIC. And that is actually the name of the game. When banks crash, other banks come in and pick up these loans, but what they're really doing are pick up the assets of the bank for pennies on the dollar. But the most important asset, this is the most important thing you need to understand during bank consolidation season. That's a seasonally adjusted thing. Hey, what season is it? It's bank consolidation season. That's such a nice way of saying the banks are all crashing. But that's what the Federal Reserve wants. That's what the big banks want. Why? Because the most important asset is your deposits because of a fractional lending system, a fractional reserve system. This is what they want. They want to pick up your deposits. This is why big banks like Wells Fargo is always having to lie. Yeah, we totally have a ton of bank deposits. And you're like, no, you don't. You're like, I could have swore those were real back there. They're not. Oh, weird. Just slap us on the wrist and fine us. It doesn't matter. We're making too much money. That is what's happening in the world right now. All right. Do me the biggest favor. This is the craziest ask I'm going to ask for this video. There's 496 people and 174 thumbs up. Is there any way we can get to 500 thumbs up in the next 60 seconds? Because I want to piss off the algorithm because they're like, the real estate ninjas over there is talking about the banks. Like, keep them down, keep them suppressed. And you're like, okay, we're going to try. And let's just see what can happen. Can we get to 500 thumbs up to piss off the algorithm in the next, 60 seconds? All right, here we go. So right here, Oh, hold on. What are you doing, Ninja? Wake up. QT is about to blow up another small bank. Now, this is the story I really want to talk. Oh, before I get to the Elon Musk thing, because I think it's very important. Jamie Dimon, I did a story about it. First time ever selling JP Morgan stock. You want to know why? Because he believes it's going to go down. I'm not joking. That's the real reason. So it's like right here. Jamie Dimon to sell JP Morgan stock for the first time. A very un-Buffett-like move. That's from Barron's. Well, just Barron's is a liar because Buffett actually sold most of his bank stocks before Silicon Valley, almost like he knew it was coming. I think he watched the Ninja when I put out that warning in November. He sold in the fourth quarter of 22, first quarter, something like that of 20. He actually sold his stocks before it happened. Remember, I called that thing to the quarter. That was exciting. That was fun, right? That was luck. Point being is that Jamie Dimon's now selling. It's because he believes that in the future, JP Morgan stocks can be a lot cheaper. And then you know what he's going to do? I know this is insider trading stuff. He's going to rebuy back the stock and show all of his confidence in the bank. I'm standing up and buying the bank stocks for 10 cents on the dollar. That's how this works. I don't get it. Okay, let's get on to Elon Musk. It's a big deal. Elon Musk gives ex-employees 1 year to replace your bank. He says you won't need a bank account. It would blow my mind if we don't have that rolled out by the end of next year. Says Elon Musk wants X to be the center of your financial world, handling anything in your life that deals with money. He expects those features to launch by the end of 2024. Of course he does, because that's when everything goes to crap. Everything implodes this next year, right before the election. Never forget that. This is going to be the greatest time to buy real estate, to buy all kinds of stuff. And we're all going to be doing it together. Type 7 if you're going to be doing this with me, right alongside of me. You're going to be buying up everybody's crap. All the family and friends that mocked you. Well, you won't want to buy their stuff because that just gets awkward at Thanksgiving. But someone else from Ninja Nation can, and then you'll go buy some of their family stuff. It's just a fact of the matter. When they're just making fun of you, you're going to be like, hey, Bill, why can't you come hang out and watch, Netflix and play video games? Sorry, I'm over here buying everybody's crap. You're always so busy. That's what's going to be happening. Well, let's get back to Elon Musk and X. He says he expects those features to launch by the end of 2024. He told X employees during an all-hands meeting on Thursday, saying that people will be surprised with just how powerful it is. I'm not joking. I actually believe this is going to happen. When I say payments, I actually mean someone's entire financial life, Musk said, according to audio of the meeting obtained by The Verge. Yeah, it is a big deal. If it involves money, it will be on our platform, money or securities or whatever. So it's not just like sending $20 to a friend. I'm talking about like when you won't need a bank account. See, this is what people don't understand that are not wealthy. When you have a certain amount of wealth, you could actually come over the top of a lot of people. The size of your wealth determines how many people you can overturn or come over the top and overpay. A lot of people miss the fact that, everyone's like, Elon Musk is a fool. He overpaid for Twitter. No, he didn't. See, first off, he had to overpay to be able to pull it off. Then he used it to become even more powerful because now he's got a massive, massive megaphone. I want you to understand that and start to realize in your own life how you need to grow your wealth in a way to where you can come over the top of people. This is important because I want smart, intelligent, good-hearted human beings to have the wealth. We can't have these oligarchs loading up on all the wealth. What we need is the middle class to be strong. Type 8 if you agree with that. We need the middle class of America to be wealthy. And I want the good-hearted human beings around the world to have that wealth. And it's very important that people understand that. All right. Now, ex-CEO Linda Yaccanero said the company sees, Yaccanero said the company sees this becoming a full opportunity. Hi, Linda. I know you're watching. In 2024, she's like right now, what? How does he know? It would blow my mind if we don't have this rolled out by the end of the year, Musk said. Musk wants to beat PayPal with the PayPal playbook he wrote 2 decades ago. Says the company is currently working on locking down money transmission licenses across the U.S. so that it can offer financial services. Musk told employees Thursday that he hopes to get the others X needs in the next few months. This is awesome. And I'm not talking about you investing in X. This is not financial advice, but I'm telling you that he is going to hard charge this. Musk has discussed his plans to turn X into a financial hub before, even renamed Twitter after his .com boom era online bank, X.com. I've told you, he's been wanting to do this forever. which eventually became PayPal. He obviously said the platform would offer high-yield money market accounts, debit cards, checks, and loan services with the goal of letting users send money anywhere in the world instantly and in real time. Says the original plan for X.com is clearly on Musk's mind. The X/PayPal product roadmap was written by myself and David Sachs actually in July of 2000. Musk said on Thursday's internal X call. And for some reason, PayPal, once it became eBay, not only did they not implement the rest of the list, they actually rolled back a bunch of the key features, which is crazy. So PayPal is actually a less complete product than what we came up with in July of 2000 or 23 years ago. Turning X into a rich hub of financial services ties directly into Musk's goal of making the platform into an everything app, akin to super apps like WeChat in China that offer access to shopping, transportation, and more. Musk faces major challenges to get there. Let me say right now, no, he does not. He does not face these challenges because Musk knows something that 99.9% of the world's population has no concept of. A massive crisis is taking over the financial world in the world. That is a plan that was set forth a long time ago, and he is simply going to take advantage of that. So here's the question for you. Type 9 if you're planning on taking full advantage of this real estate and economic banking currency crash around the world. Type 9 if you're willing to do it. Type 10 if you're like, nah, I got other things to do. If I see 110 on there, just you know which way the door is. I want to hang out with winners. And everyone typing 9 right now is a winner. End of story. And here, hold on just 1 second. Let's do this really quick. Get rid of that person. All right, with that being said, the Economic Ninja is on the Real Estate Ninja. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. You don't have to do it. Real Estate Ninja is out.